Hi everyone and welcome to this episode of Women in Retail Talks. In today's episode, I sit down with Kelly Collins, president of The Worth Collection, a direct-to-consumer women's apparel brand. Listen in as she shares her story and top leadership tips. And now, on to the show. Hi Kelly, thank you so much for joining me today. Let's dive right in. Can you tell me a little bit about The Worth Collection?
Yes, Worth Collections is a New York-based design house that has been in business for over 27 years. We are in the direct sales industry, which means essentially we have over 1,000 stylists who sell our brands across the United States 4 times a year. We do 4 collections, spring, summer, fall, and winter. We are launching, as of yesterday, our fall 2018 collection, and the stylists sell the brands primarily out of their homes or showrooms all over the United States. So we have stylists from Miami, Florida, all the way in the middle of the country, Oklahoma City, as far as Portland, Oregon, and beyond. So it's a strong contingency of women who have the ability to sell our product. And we started, as I mentioned earlier, over 27 years ago by a stylist herself, and had a dream and a vision to empower women to have their own businesses while balancing their own personal lives with children and husbands and significant others. And it's really been an incredible opportunity for many women all these years. My story, just for a little bit of context, is I actually started out myself as a stylist 27 years ago. I hate when I have to start double-digiting myself, but it's true. But I started when I was about 24 years old and really went into it, went to a trunk show and was with my mom and, loved the clothes. And there was a running joke. I kept saying, I need to borrow this. I have a big meeting. And eventually, she said, why don't you just try this? And I thought, well, why not? I love clothes. I was always kind of dabbling in the retail world, with a personal shopper at Saks and Talbot's and, Lord & Taylor, kind of on a part-time. Started this and came to a place where I was making more money selling the Worth collections 4 times a year than working a 9-to-5 job, and thought, well, if nothing else, I'll be the best dressed girl in the office, which morphed into obviously a far bigger career and place where I am today as president over both brands. But it really, at the core, for me, and as the leader of this organization, it is about, the stylist. And I always have that very stylist-centric mentality and always wanting to do what's best and right for the stylist, which is where I sit right now with launching many new initiatives as we begin our fall 2018 season.
So I know the Worth Collection is spending some time connecting the online and the offline. Can you tell us a little bit about that and some of the changes happening?
Yes, so we just debuted our new Worth Collection app, and it really gives our stylists the ability to now be selling, beyond when they have the collection in their homes or they actually have product. That happens 4 times a year. But beyond that, we've given them this incredible app that allows them to be selling 24/7, 365. So the reality of the world and life that we live in now is that women are very busy. You can't always get them in for that appointment. But yet what we do have is always that relationship. Our stylists have unbelievable relationships with their clients. I myself have had a clientele that has followed me now for over 20-plus years. And with that app, I'm able to curate closets, choices, items for her for the next season, for the next collection that I can easily, with the click of a button in an app, select, text, post, share, and send to her, and also have the ability to transactionally order it for her right there. It's really been an amazing and very exciting tool for us. Our stylists have jumped all over it, as you can imagine, in this very social media, digital world that we're living in. It's the ability that, you could be as a stylist standing in the Starbucks line and someone says, I love that jacket or that blouse, and we can right there pull up the app, show her the style, select it, place the order, bam, it's shipped and on her doorstep within a matter of days to weeks, depending on availability.
So shifting gears a little bit, as a leader, what are some of your day-to-day leadership tips, or maybe is there a mantra that you live by?
Well, for me, it's always about keeping it real and also being very transparent and honest. I always, teach and share with our stylists and my management team that, I've always lived by the creed of honesty is the best policy. So if a client, a stylist, wants a particular garment, it's back ordered, we can't get it immediately, to just be upfront about that and let the person know. I think disappointment always comes at a heftier price when we are not upfront to set the expectations. So I feel like we're always kind of resetting expectations. As a leader in this space, to me, it's also about providing exceptional customer service. I know that the loyalty and longevity that we have with our clientele is because of the exceptional service and relationships that our stylists procure and have over time with the clients that they're dressing. They know their personal likes. They know if they love or hate the color purple. They know if she will wear stripes or prints, or if she only likes pants or dresses. So it's a very, very relationship-driven business, and I think that is so important. As fast as this world is moving with technology, we still are all human beings who want to be touched, be it through a text or a post or an Insta or Facebook. There's still that reach out that I know it's your son's birthday coming up, that there's an important wedding or anniversary or graduation. It's all those personal touches that I know have really made us a leader over 27 years because of the relationships we continue to nurture and endure through the years.
So while the stylist aspect of the Worth collection sounds very individual and a very individual kind of experience, do you have any management tips for managing a team with your day-to-day experience as a leader?
And part of that, to me, again, it's very much about being transparent. In the positions, we sit in as leaders, you can't always share everything, and everyone always wants to know everything. But I think being as transparent, and it goes, again, back to being honest, being real. I very much feel you have to walk the walk to talk the talk. I myself am still a selling president. So I think it's always remembering that you have to continue to be the voice of your customer and the voice of your managers, and lead by that example that, everyone's opinion does count. I'm always welcome to feedback and suggestions. I think that's where some of our best and most brilliant ideas come from. But yet sometimes we do have to make the hard decisions, and, but it's being fair about it, but also I feel explaining, I respect and understand what you're saying, but here's the decision I'm going to make and why. So at the end of the day, for me, I think leadership is really about being transparent, being decisive, making those hard decisions, but making the decisions that are in the overall best interest in my place for our stylists, being stylist-centric, and aiding and guiding my management team to lead with those same principles.
And then my very last question is, what are some of your tips for anyone that's thinking about being a stylist?
Go for it. I feel there is no risk. There is no reward in life without any risk. I learned that about myself a long time ago, that some of my greatest risks, a few became my biggest failures, but they then have now morphed into my greatest rewards because I sit in the position that I want. But I feel like this is, anything you want to do, you have to try. And you may not be the best, you may not succeed immediately, but you have to give it the effort. And, I think in the space we live in, this is an incredible opportunity to kind of follow your passion. If you love selling clothes, you love servicing clients, you want to sell something, it's an incredible space, but you have to allow yourself the room and the opportunity to grow and to learn and stumble and pick yourself back up and do it again. And I think that's always how the top stylists and some of the best leaders succeed. It's from the mistakes that they've learned and learning from them and moving on and figuring out how you're going to do it different and better the next time.
Thanks for listening. For more information on our podcast, be sure to visit our podcast channel page at www.wirlc.com/podcast for show notes. Women in Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher, but be sure to subscribe to our podcast channel page as well. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Women in Retail Talks.